your siren. The Bulldogs lead by 18 points. It's going to be Howard and Florence in the middle to do the ruck work. It's going to be Florence that just got a hand there in the end, and Ferrinato, who's taken the headband off after getting taped there earlier. He's got the clearance. Now to Brindley on the paint of 50. Wants to handball back, but a bit of a fumble from Walsh. Recovered nicely to get it back to Brindley. Now to Ferrinato, who's confronted, but handballs it back out to Panham. Panham from 50 metres out sends a high ball. Very deep inside 50 entry. Mark almost claimed in the end, but it's going to be a rush behind. So a great start for the Borough, although it is a point. The margin reduces to 17.
And a brilliant spoil from Brodie Bell. Looked like the Greensborough forward had two hands to it, but just got
Severs who's moved forward.
Yeah, it might have been. So a big move for Greensborough in this second quarter, kicking with the breeze. Mapleson's kick out was a dangerous one to his skipper in McDonald, but gets the free kick courtesy of chopping the arms. So McDonald will look to move things on. Just going to go laterally. Made Brodie Bell really work for that one in the back pocket, but dives for the mark. He's going to go with a short one as well, so not looking to go with those long bombs kicking into the breeze in this second quarter, North Heidelberg. And we'll just look to move things on. Now they might go with a long one. Up to the wing, a big pack of players forming under this ball. Brindley's the one that rises highest and takes a strong mark, hands it over to his captain in Johnston towards forward 50. Kick finds McCubbin. He has it on true centre half forward, does Zach McCubbin. Just going to load up and go with a long one to the hot spot. Might even go all the way. It's gone a long way. It's gone right through. Yeah, got over the goal line. It's a goal for Greensborough. Zach McCubbin's kicked that one from the centre square. And a great start to this second quarter for the Borough. They move to 3-3-21. Trailing North Heidelberg 5-2-32.
What a kick from Zach McCubbin. It just kept floating and floating and floating and bounced just over that goal line before doing a complete 180 in the opposite direction. Could not have kicked that any more perfectly, and it's just the start that the Borough would have wanted. And
certainly is. Margin back at 11 points now. 2.5 minutes into this second quarter. And we'll see if Greensborough can start to build some momentum. They end a 5-goal run from the Bulldogs. Ball gets tossed up again. Howard straight though to Liam Hunt. Looking for Solomon with a looping handball. It gets to him. Now he goes towards the pocket. Heatley's the target, but coming in strong is McFawn. And he quickly plays on over to James McCubbin, who's a bit undecided himself. He goes towards the wing, and he was looking for Brindley with the kick. That ball's actually going to stay in play. Brindley can run onto it here. He's done really well to keep this ball in play. And that handball has gone towards half forward while being bumped at the same time. But Brindley straight to his feet. And that, well, is a kick from half back that has landed all the way towards half forward. That's how strong this wind has been here at Preston City Oval today. And we've got a boundary throw in 55 out from the Greensborough goal.
Yeah, you can really see those trees in the background really swaying towards that city end. So Greensborough with it in this second quarter. Howard gets the tap down. It's mopped up by a couple of North Heidelberg defenders, and eventually Wallace does get the kick out. Johnston nudged under it by Tardio as he went for the mark and gets the free kick for his troubles. So the skipper will look to send Greensborough inside forward 50 once again. It's a one-on-one contest. McGubbin asking if he was being held. Umpire says nothing doing there. And eventually McDonald gets a handball to Maple soon. He gets a quick kick out of defence for North Heidelberg. Finds its way to Jobby. Gets the Shepherd from Chirkop. Chirkop keeps running. Gets the handball, but just too fast for it.
Yeah, silly from James McCubbin there.
McCubbin gives away the free kick on the boundary line just for a bit of a push. Unnecessary there. Chirkop takes it. Wheels around one defender. Inside forward 50. Greensborough have the numbers there, but Heatley at the fall of the ball. Gets a handball out to Hunt. Swings one way, goes the other, and eventually handball is intercepted by McCubbin, and he'll get a relieving kick for Greensborough. Almost intercepted by Smith. Handball out in the direction of Wallace. He just paddles it out of bounds, and it will be thrown back in between the two benches on the broadcast side here.
Well, it's pretty obvious, but both sides have to be very careful with their discipline, especially in an important final like this. As the ball prepares to be thrown back in, almost true centre wing broadcast side. It's the Bulldogs by 11 points. Howard gets the tap. Brindley roving. Missed it with the kick, but it rebounded back to him. Finds O'Sullivan, and now they've got a great handball chain. Padham, 55 out, just wants to chip it into the direction of Brody Glenn. Kicked 4 goals last week. He's looking to get on the ball this time. Swings towards goal and misses to the left. The margin reduces again, but this time to 10 points. 3-4 plays, 5-2.
And it's not the result Brody Glenn would have wanted, but that's exactly the kind of play that he does best. Just turning his opponent inside out and just producing the shot. And it's one he'd like to have again because that's certainly in his repertoire.
Mapleson's going to take the kick out, and he finds Matthews for the Bulldogs. Still in defensive 50. Measured kick is a good one to Hunt, who's still a long way from the forward half of the ground, where there's only a one-on-one in the forward half for the Bulldogs at the moment. They're going to go down the line with this kick. Again, it hangs in the air, and it's ended up almost marked by the Borough, but Brindley keeps that ball in play. Not a great kick, but a great sprawl to keep it moving forward there from Walsh, and then that ball is going to bounce its way over the line for a boundary throw-in.
And this is what Greensborough do so well, just locking the ball inside their forward half of the ground, because North Heidelberg know if they kick it long, Greensborough have so many great intercept markers in Johnson, in Brindley down the line, so they're really hesitant to go there.
Ball thrown back into play. Howard ushers it down. Padham bursting through, breaks the Wallace tackle, gives the don't argue to his own teammate before snapping it inside forward 50 towards Glenn, snaps towards goal. No troubles with this one. Brody Glenn's kicked his first goal of this final. And another one for Greensborough takes them back within a kick. 4-4-28 the Borough, trailing North Heidelberg 5-2-32. Well, he had an opportunity before which he didn't take, but you can't give him 2 chances like that inside forward 50, Brody Glenn, and he's kicked his first of the day.
Fantastic stuff from Brody Glenn. He loves playing against North Heidelberg. He's kicked 3 goals against the Bulldogs in round 12, 5 against North Heidelberg in round 3, and after a relatively quiet opening term, he's found his way on the scoreboard in this final. 4 goals, of course, last week as we said against Hurstbridge. Back in the middle, it's Howard. His tap was looking for Andrew Nacko, but it's going to be Brody White instead that emerges with the football. Handball out wide to Rivers. Goes towards half forward, and here's Harvey. Takes the mark, 60 out from goal. Slipped over, but got the handball away to Hunt. Hunt chipping ball's not a great one to his forward. Now the numbers are right for both sides, and umpire will call for it. 7.5 minutes gone. The margin reduced to 4 points after North Heidelberg led by 18 at quarter time. We go again with this stoppage. Howard taps it towards the boundary line, and he's successful in getting it over. We'll have a boundary throw in.
So we saw Greensborough were able to kick 2 goals into the breeze in that first quarter. North Heidelberg really haven't had a great opportunity so far, but they'll look to get one here. As umpire throws the ball back into play right in front of the scoreboard. Goes over the heads of both rucks. Howard's first to it, gets a tap down. Hunt's in there. But a quick kick forward for North Heidelberg, and Heatley's going to fly for this one against 2. Falls to Brent Harvey, and he's going to run into an open goal. Brent Harvey puts through North Heidelberg's 6th of the day, their first of this second quarter. And it's back out to a double-digit lead. 6-2-38, the Bulldogs, leading Greensborough 4-4-28. 8.5 minutes gone.
Oh, that was textbook there from Brent Harvey, just reading the flight of the ball. 2 Greensborough defenders went up for that contest with Parker Heatley, and as the ball came to ground, Brent Harvey came swooping in, and that's his first real opportunity that he's had to get on the scoreboard in this game, and what a clinical display from him.
Kick 7, of course, in his first game back this year from injury against Greensborough back in round 12. Game number 72 in North Heidelberg colours. Of course, we know how much of a star he has been both at AFL and local level, and he gets on the board in his first final for the club since 2019. Meanwhile, it's a clearing kick here for White. That's a bouncing ball. It looks to get to Jobby. Great spoil there from Walsh. Found James McCubbin, and he'll kick it down the line, and great courage there from Howard. Cop the contact and sends it inside 50 with this footy. Doesn't quite get to Zach McCubbin. Bulldogs with numbers here. Murphy. Handball to Smith. And North Heidelberg clear it away, although not a great kick down the line. Again, numbers here with Greensborough, although Brock Churkop came in from nowhere and almost picked up that footy in his own right. It did, however, allow Jobby to get into the contest, and we're going to have a stoppage between wing and half forward for the Bulldogs on the outer side. They now lead by 10 points. Howard getting the tap. Greensborough with a clearance through Ferrinato. That high ball goes over the head of the one-on-one, but landed just in time for Sievers. Swings around from 75 out. Bouncing ball over the head almost of Smith. Coming in is Glenn. Can he keep that ball in play? He can't, but they do get a boundary throw-in, which is not a bad result either for Matthew Hyde's men.
Definitely isn't. And Bailey Wildstorp was one of North Heidelberg's best in that first quarter. Has the job on Brody Glenn. Glenn starting to get on top, but Wildstorp looking to shut him down after he kicked that goal minutes ago. But a dangerous stoppage for Greensborough. As it's Smith doing the ruck work. Florence is in there. Rose this one does Michael Florence, which you don't see every day. But he's wrapped up immediately. And will contest this ball up. 25 out from the Greensborough goal. Florence able to get the tap down. Ferrinato's in there wrestling with Hunt. Neither able to take clean possession. Eventually Ferrinato picks it up, but Hunt was already hanging off him. So ball will be thrown up once again. Inside forward 50 for Greensborough. Smith just slaps it towards goal. Ferrinato pushes his opponent under, gets the handball to Smith, kick towards goal. It's going to go out of bounds. There were only North Heidelberg men there anyway, so a good result for the Borough. And they'll get another stoppage inside forward 50 with a chance to get this margin back to single digits.
Greensborough have so many dangerous players around this contest. Brody Glenn lurking, Christian Ferrinato.
Glenn just taken the ground there by Warsdorp. Be careful not to give away a free kick here from either side. Murphy to Smith, who has a bit of a fumble. Hot on his hammer is Brindley, and the Bulldogs will have to take this one out of bounds. They had nowhere else to go. So this is good pressure from Greensborough, but they need to start capitalising even more. They do not want to head to half-time trailing this contest, especially with the win advantage they do have in this second term. Boundary throwing very close to the Borough goal. Smith almost grabbed it out of the ruck successfully. It's cleared by the Bulldogs. Only momentarily. O'Sullivan, chance for Brindley, outside of the boots. There's going to be a rush through for a behind. The margin's back at 9 points. 4-5-29 Greensborough. They trail North Heidelberg, who was 6-2-38. 12 and a half minutes gone in the second term of the first semi-final in Melbourne Grounds Division 1.
Mapleson with a short kick in to Wallace. He'll play on now, go in that left boot. It's a one-on-one contest. Almost taking the mark in front was Rivers, but eventually does get the handball back. He's going to go with a short one to Heatley, who just assesses his options. He's got Whitnell up the ground in a one-on-one. He's asking for it. I think he's asking for it right on Jack Johnston's head. And he's going to get it there. Whitnell coming in.
Great vision.
And takes a strong mark on the wing. Will send it inside forward 50. Harvey just shucks that one off his teammate. Wheels away around a defender. Sells a bit of candy. Eventually gets a handball back to Jobby. A short kick over the top. Can't find the target. And trickles over the boundary line in that forward pocket for North Heidelberg.
13 and a half minutes gone now. Saw Harvey. As soon as he sees that, Sharon, it's very hard to try and take it out of his hands. Boundary throw in. Howard, front spot. Bouncing ball works for O'Sullivan. Finds Hasler. And then he'll get the clearing kick for Greensborough. Smith's the target, and he takes the mark on centre wing. Jamie Smith with a right boot ball. That's nobody really home. They've got to hope they drop this mark. Two Bulldogs collided into each other. Mapleson front and centre, fumbling. Now trying to offside support is Jake Brown. We're going to have a stoppage 55 out from the Greensborough goal as they look to surge forward here. We're probably just past halfway in this second term. It's going to be Howard and Florence again to do battle. Howard almost. Andrew Narco from the side. Couldn't grab it cleanly. Brindley just got boot to ball as it enters inside 50. Now the Borough have a chance. O'Sullivan, tight angle. Coming back! Lovely finish from Tom O'Sullivan. Gets his fourth goal of the season. And the margin is reduced to 3 points. 5-5-35. North Heidelberg 6-2-38. Great finish from the midfielder.
Brilliant finish there from Tom O'Sullivan. Just on a tight angle and just had the composure and the knowledge just to keep that ball low, take the wind out of it, and just spearing it through and ultimately sliding right in front of a large contingent of Greensborough fans who were happy to let him live it up. Great finish there from Tom O'Sullivan.
One of the young stars of this Greensborough side. He's done it in the GVFL, was the rising star in 2023 of that competition. Played some games with North Melbourne VFL and having an impact with Greensborough in this final. As they cut the margin back to 3 points, 15 and a half minutes gone, second quarter. Brindley into the ruck for the Borough, but Florence pushes him out and gets the clearance. Tardio's in there. He's set upon, can't take clean possession. And it will be wrapped up with Harrison Andronako. So forward of the centre square for North Heidelberg. Florence gets a tap down to White. Kicks it inside forward 50. Harvey being held. Can't take clean possession. Goes in a second time. Tries to pick that one off the deck. Eventually coming through is Suleiman.
High contact.
And does go in lower and harder and gets rewarded with the free kick inside forward 50. Directly in front. So we'll have a shot on goal to respond to Greensborough's efforts once again.
This would be a big blow to Greensborough if the Bulldogs get this one through, because as we get towards time on, we know how important it is for the Borough to be in front. They did well to get it to 3 points. They can't afford this to go through.
They certainly can't, as Suleiman lines up, as I said, from directly in front, hooks it left. It's coming back. It's not even going to make the distance, and the Borough are able to clear out a defence. Mark taken by Fitzgerald. He's going to play on quickly. Bumped easy kick by Jobby. McCubbin's there, but he's got 3 North Heidelberg players to contend with. The big man, Florence, sells a bit of candy and then gets a short kick, finds Chirkop. Feigns one way, but goes the other, and a short kick does find Tardio, and a push in the back after the mark. Just unnecessary from Zach McCubbin. Ooh. And Tardio will be marched inside forward 50. The North Heidelberg players letting Zach McCubbin know about that one. But Tardio, I think he was playing for another one there. Players' bodies falling out of this contest everywhere. Really got to be wary not to give away a free kick.
Or copper yellow.
Umpires conferring. It will be Tardio marched inside forward 50. And he will line up from almost point blank range. Yeah, he's marched right into the goal square. So Jesse Tardio had a shot that missed completely on the quarter time siren. But now we'll have one from point blank range to extend North Heidelberg's margin back to 9 points. He's taking his time with this one, just soaking it all in. Very deliberate approach from 8 metres out. Tardio sends that one right through the middle and almost into the Preston market. He's kicked that one right over the net. And we might need a new ball here. But North Heidelberg have their 7th goal of this final. 7-2-44 the Bulldogs, leading Greensborough 5-5-35.
Tim, 7 individual goal kickers for the Bulldogs, which would please Jason Heatley.
Yeah, it certainly would. North Heidelberg, such an important goal there, and honestly, that just felt like a gift there to North Heidelberg. And you mentioned it earlier, Nick, with the wind advantage, Greensborough really need to make sure they've got that margin, at least if they're not going to go in front, that it's nice and tight at half-time. But now sending it back out to 8 points, that's a really big blow against the Borough.
And we're not far away from time on either, so the Borough now a bit desperate. If they want to hit the front here at the main break, we can have a secondary stoppage in the middle. Brindley now to do some ruck work. He managed to get a hand onto that contest. Florence doing some roving again, got it over to Hurt. Now he sends it inside 50, hangs in the air. Heatley almost able to get in. In fact, it's Harvey. He's able to kick it off the ground to his advantage. On to his support there was Jobby, but it's Greensborough through James McCubbin that get themselves out of trouble. Goes to true centre half back, and Brindley is able to take the mark, and they're out here on the broadcast side. Will it bounce here for Walsh? A little fumble, but he's got room, and he's able to get past Solomon. Walsh now to half forward. Smith did well, but doing even better was Matthews, and now the Bulldogs win it back. White handballing over the top to Hunt. Middle of Preston City Oval is where he is. That kick laterally, not a great option. Now Sievers, he overruns the footy. Coming in his ham, and then he's tackled. And just a comedy of errors there from both sides as they look to push it forward. Not great options either way. And at the end, all we can manage is a stoppage. We're about to tick into time on in this second term. Brindley again, but this time it's going to be Wallace with the clearing ball. Pushed out of it was Whitnell. Umpire says it was all legal. Johnston swings it back. That kick not into the advantage of his teammates. Florence there, it spills out the back of the pack. Ferranado, was he caught high? Yes. Greensborough have another chance to send this one deep inside 50. He's got McCubbin on the lead, ignores him. Very high ball. Not sure what he was intending to do with that entry. Spills away for McCubbin, overran it. Picking up his Fitzgerald. Brindley, 55 out from goal. To the goal square he goes. He's out the back. He's Glenn. Sievers. Glenn! And an important one for Brodie Glenn and Greensborough. As the margin reduces again now. A bit more remonstration, but Brodie Glenn's kicked 2 in the quarter. And it's now 6-5-41 Greensborough, North Heidelberg 7-2-44. It's another 3-point ball game.
And that was great awareness there from Angus Sievers, just to dish off the handball to Brodie Glenn, who was lurking dangerously in that goal square. And that's exactly what the Borough needed to try and keep that margin close as we approach half-time. And certainly if you're Matthew Hyde, you'd be hoping to sneak 1 or 2 more to end this quarter of football.
Well, every time Greensborough have got this lead into single digits or close within a goal, North Heidelberg have had a response. What have they got now? Brodie White wrapped up after sharking that off the tap. And we'll have a secondary stoppage in the middle of Preston City Oval. Brindley rucking against Florence. Brindley taps it down to Wallace, who'll go forward for North Heidelberg. Mark almost taken by Johnston. Lays the tackle on Heatley, but it's going to come out through McCubbin for the Borough. In the direction of Sievers, bounces over his head, but bounces over the defender's head as well. Sievers does well to shrug the tackle, send it inside forward 50, and he's got McCubbin in there. Can't quite take the mark, but does get the free kick for the high contact. Had first hands to it, did McCubbin, and the defender couldn't do anything about it. So all of a sudden, Greensborough have an opportunity to hit the lead in this second quarter. He's on a very tight angle, is Zach McCubbin. But it looks like he will be angling for the drop punt. So what better way to make up for giving away a 50-metre penalty that led to that Jesse Tardio goal moments ago than to go up the other end and kick one yourself and put your club in front. McCubbin puts that one through. Greensborough are in front. 23 minutes gone in this second quarter. Greensborough a 7-5-47, leading North Heidelberg 7-2-44.
We just know he had to kick that one. Gave away the goal just moments ago. So having that set shot, it wasn't easy, but you could tell just with the concentrated way he lined up for goal, he knew how important it was to get it back and make up for that error earlier in the quarter.
23 and a quarter minutes gone, second term. The Borough lead by 3 points. It's Whitnell now doing the ruck work here against Howard. Howard getting the tap. Hasler tries to get through a couple of Bulldogs. Unsuccessful. Picked up by Wallace. Kicking towards half forward. Jobby controlled that one nicely. Handball's back to Wallace. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a scuffle between Hasler and I think Jobby in the middle. Cherkop, rather. It's going to go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in right in front of the North Heidelberg bench. And Jason Heatley, there's been little spot fires happening throughout this game so far. Hopefully it's nothing more than that as we prepare to toss this ball back into play. Again, Whitnell to do the ruck work. Howard gets front spot, wrestling it past Whitnell. Cherkop and Hasler went at it again. Spills out the back. Lots of bodies flying. O'Sullivan. And that kick not great from Lockie Hill. Cut off now by Maynard. His left foot ball towards half forward. It's going to make a bit of work here for Tardio. James McCubbin did well. Coming in to apply some support now for North Heidelberg is Tom Rivers. But he's going to win a free kick now, is Rivers. So his support certainly helped. And now the Bulldogs will have a chance to go inside 50 as they look to get this lead back. Rivers almost true centre wing, out of side. Just going to chip this one short. Just getting there is Tardio, who still is about 60-65 out from goal. Sends it long inside towards the Heatley direction. Hasler front and centre will clear it away, and the kick's okay if it gets to Fisher. It doesn't, but there as well is Walsh. Can't control that one. Johnston now over to Fisher. He just sends a big spiralling torpedo that goes over the head of McDonald. Bounce in the direction of Mapleson. He goes inboard. Rivers again. Now he'll set his sights towards half forward. Big fly from Jobby. Couldn't take the mark. Greensborough look to recover again. They go down the line. Matthews kills the footy. And at the 25.5-minute mark of the second term, we'll have a boundary throw in centre wing broadcast side. The Greensborough Footy Club lead by 3 points.
Just feels like the intensity is lifted quite a lot in the last couple of minutes. Both sides know how integral it would be to get a goal to end this half of footy.
Whitnell and Howard wrestle with that ruck contest. Howard gets the tap down. It's going to come back. Just running past it was O'Sullivan. And now Harvey finds it. A bit of high tackle is being paid against O'Sullivan on Brodie Bell. So the Bulldogs will have it.
Not long to go, I reckon, because the Bulldogs bench are telling him to go forward.
Yeah, definitely. They'll want to get one last attack in, try and reclaim the lead going into halftime. Bell with a long and high ball. Players flying from both sides. No mark taken there by Smith. And then he goes in and gets the high tackle on his opponent in Farinado. So Greensborough will have a defensive side of centre wing. There's just bodies flying everywhere at every contest late in this first half. Farinado will look to send the Borough as deep as possible. Fisher's in there, can't take the mark. Bell can't take clean possession either. Fisher goes in again and is going to get a in the back free kick. Probably could have paid a high tackle as well. It doesn't matter. Fisher, who kicked the first 2 goals of this game for Greensborough. Handball over to Panham. Tardio collects him. Farinado kick inside forward 50. Pack of plays flying at it. McDonald goes at it. And a free kick has been paid in favour of North Heidelberg. So a bit of a reprieve for the Bulldogs, and the kick comes out to Suleiman.
And he may be able to soak in the last couple of moments of this half. He's side trailed by 3 points. Solomon Howard wins the 2-on-1. He's going to launch this one inside 50 again. That's a deliberate kick, but it didn't go to a Greensborough player. It was McDonald that intercepted the ball that was going to Mapleson. We got a stoppage about 48 metres out from the Greensborough goal. They'll look to try and grab one more and end this first half on a high. It's going to be Whitnell and Howard again to do the ruck work. Howard manages to get the tap, then kicks it in mid-air, but it was kicking in danger, says the umpire. Solomon will have it in the defensive 50 and will assess his options, goes laterally here to Hunt. He's able to take the mark, and he's looking for Tardio, who's on the wing, sprints to the footy, and Tardio dived and got the mark. So Tardio just slow to his feet after exerting all his energy to grab that footy, and just happy to let some players run forward, and Tardio will take his full 15 seconds now called to play on. He's just going to chip this one down the line, and Johnston spoils it out of bounds. Boundary throwing 28.5 minutes about to tick over now in this second quarter. Greensborough with their own 5-2 quarter after conceding 5-2 in the opening term are close to taking a lead into half-time. Here's Howard again. Greensborough off hands and then off feet are able to get some meterage. Sievers now 60 out from goal, got away from Rivers. Brindley streams through, sends it inside 50. Blakely's in front, can't take the mark. They've got numbers front and centre. They're not clean enough at the moment. O'Sullivan's in there now at the back, trying to get through as well. Was a couple of others, and the Bulldogs through McDonald clears it away. Off hands again from Whitnell. The Borough with the numbers. McFawn. Great handball. Gets it over to McCubbin now. Corner of the centre square. High ball inside of 50. It's all the Bulldogs, and Warsdorp will take the intercept mark. He's got hurt, and he's able to take that mark. So now the Bulldogs will look to just run down the clock.
It was a really crucial fly from Warsdorp, because if the contest had to come the other way, Brodie Glenn stayed down to try and rove that ball. A big fly coming over the top from McFawn. Can't quite take the grab. McCubbin sends it inside forward 50 for Greensborough once again. Glenn's there, got 2 to contend with, but ball over his head and out of bounds. So we've been thinking it's going to be the final moments of this quarter for the last 3 or 4 minutes, but there can't be too long left now. Greensborough with a 3-point lead, about to tick over, 30 minutes gone. Ball inside forward 50 at the city end for the Borough. And Whitnell and Brindley doing the ruck work for their respective sides. Whitnell gets a tap down for Matthews. He just scrubs a kick out. It lands in the hands of Johnston. Can't take possession. Now Tardio's going to go the other way for North Heidelberg. His kick comes off the body of a defender, but it's going to be mopped up by Rivers, who gets it over to a teammate in Hurt. Gets the handball to White. Inside forward 50 for North Heidelberg. No one in there, and the ball just floating towards the boundary line on that outer pocket.
No, insufficient intent.
Wow.
Says the umpire.
Well, I guess he wasn't kicking for anything. He was just kicking for ground. So probably a fair enough call from the umpire. And Greensborough a bit of a reprieve.
Lockie Hill will have the last kick as the siren sounds for half-time. And we have a great first semi-final on our hands here at Preston City Oval. 5-2 from North Heidelberg in the first term. Now 5-2 from Greensborough in the second quarter. And at the end of it, it's the Borough who lead 7-5-47 to the Bulldogs 7-2-44. Your goal kick is